Good morning, everyone. Welcome to part one of our air quality webinar series. In this series, we'll be talking all about air purification, humidification in your home, what the heck a hygrometer is, and how implementing these strategies is a direct complement to the work that we're doing each day with our doTERRA essential oils. I'm here with Sandy from Stadler Form USA. And Sandy, thank you so much for letting me pick your brain for all of our followers. Can you share with us briefly how we met for everybody?
Yes, actually, I was on my way home from the doTERRA convention. Hillary was too, and I was supposed to have a direct flight back to Cleveland, and for some reason, my flight got changed, and I had to fly all the way across the country to Atlanta to get back to Cleveland. And guess who was my seat partner? The wonderful LaMay. And we got to talking about diffusers and essential oils. And I told her I worked for Stadler Form, and she was like, "No way! I love their products." And so it was a great union right from the beginning.
And Sandy has been so incredibly generous, and we have created this incredible, amazing partnership, and she has been bringing us coupon codes every month, and all of you have been bringing in Jasmine's and Mia's and Julia diffusers into your home, and Anton's and Roger's and all these incredible products. And so we've been getting a lot of questions, and we felt like the best way to handle this would be to create education, right? So just like I do with my periscopes, and we create these educational demos for you to be able to go back and watch anytime you want, and they're archived in the cloud. That's exactly what this webinar series is going to be all about, to give you the groundwork for really feeling comfortable with what these products are doing and how you're going to leverage them in your home. So we're going to jump right in with our content. Now, Sandy, can you tell us, are there ways to improve the indoor air quality of our home?
Yes, actually there are. First of all, you'll see here, this is the Roger Air Purifier, and air purification in your home is key, along with proper humidification. So this is the Robert, and this is actually an air washer and humidifier, and this right here is Roger. He's the air purifier. So I don't know if you know this, but the indoor air quality in your home is 20% more polluted than the outdoor air. And to me, that was, when I learned that, it was completely mind-blowing. I was like, what do you mean my air quality in my home is 20% more polluted? So according to the EPA, the indoor quality of your air is one of the top 5 biggest environmental threats to your health. So it's really important that we're always using proper humidification levels and an air purifier like Roger here.
So where exactly are these pollutants coming from? Because that's pretty terrifying. I mean, I know that for us, we diffuse every day, and I had no idea that it was to that degree. And so can you help our viewers understand where these pollutants are coming from?
Okay, so first of all, we're all hearing about those wildfires in California and quite frankly, all over the place. Wildfires create air pollution, volcanoes. Your outdoor cleaning products are full of toxic chemicals. Hillary, you're always saying, kick those chemicals to the curb, And I do, I kick those chemicals to the curb. Just for example, this is my spray. It's On Guard Melaleuca and just white vinegar. I use it to spray my sink, my counters, and this is a great way to kick those chemicals to the curb and not have them adding to your indoor air pollution. So that's one of the ways. You have people who have cigarette smokers in their house, and you need to clean your air from that. There are people who burn candles, which I've been reading. They're carcinogens, and you don't want those in your air. So the Roger will help you clean those types of things out of the air. I just want to show you a little example. I don't normally burn candles, but I have a candle here just for a demo, and I'm going to light it. So just think about this as, you're burning candles in your house, or maybe you live in an area that has forest fires, or any other kind of pollutant in your house. So I'm going to let this burn for just a second here, and then I'm going to blow it out, and you're going to see what's going to happen here with the Roger air purifier. So right now you can see our strip is blue. That means my air is clean. I run my Roger 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's always continuously cycling through the blue to the yellow to the red. And so here we go. I'm just gonna, well, didn't let it burn long enough. Plus I have my fan going from my Roger here. So maybe if I could get it just to burn a little bit more. I'm gonna turn this one off so it's not blowing it away. Okay, there you go. You see, it turned orange. So it's actually cleaning that smoke out of the air. And once it's done cleaning out of the air, you'll see it will turn back to the blue color. So that's just an example of what the Roger can do in your home.
That is incredible. And I know that for me, I'm a visual person, so I need to see it. If I can see it, it makes it easier for me to conceptualize. So thank you for showing us that, because that's really impactful. And then, is there a link between indoor air pollutants and health risks?
Yes, actually there is. Studies have shown that it can affect everything from your quality of your respiration all the way to heart attacks. So it is a true concern. Pollutants do affect your health directly.
Okay, so then how can we improve the quality of our indoor air? Walk us through that.
So you can run a Roger air purifier, like I told you. That will be super helpful. You could kick those chemicals to the curb, start making your own home cleaning products. Hilary has links all over the place to her tutorials on all types of different ways to kick those chemicals to the curb. So check those out. And instead of chemical-laden air fresheners, you might want to try something like the Julia ultrasonic diffuser. So Julia puts out a nice mist. You use essential oils with this in water, and it emits out into the air, and you don't have any of those toxic chemicals, invading your home. So this is a great one instead of candles or those terrible air sprays that people put around their house. You also want to have proper indoor relative humidity. That will improve your air quality.
Okay, so what's relative humidity? Walk us through that.
Okay, so what relative humidity is the percentage of water vapor in your air at a particular temperature expressed as a percentage. So sometimes you'll hear in the summer, oh, it's really humid outside. It's 80% humidity. So that's what relative humidity is.
And what would be, I know for me, because I have curly hair, what the relative humidity would be, right? You and I in the curl squad and diffuser squad. But for average people, what is the ideal relative humidity for your home? Not for your hair, but for your home. So walk us through that.
Okay, so the ideal relative humidity in your home is going to be between 40 and 50%. So you want to make sure that you are keeping it between the 40 and 50. It could be a tiny bit lower and a tiny bit higher with no problem. You also want to make sure for your skin health that you want to keep your house temperature around 68 degrees. That's ideal.
Okay, and so we're going to tease this, but for some of you, I showed this on my Instagram stories. This is a hygrometer, and we're going to walk you through that. Sandy's going to walk us through all this. But my relative humidity, or my air quality right now, has a 39% humidity level. So I have my Anton going so that I can get that to the optimum level. So I love having this handy. This is really nice and portable, and it's sleek, and we'll show you that too. But just to give you a little teaser, so I have this in my office, and I like being able to know exactly what's going on in a space that I'm spending the majority of my day in. The same would go for your bedroom, especially your kiddos' bedroom. So this is really neat. And Sandy, thank you for walking us through that. Now, what are some signs that our humidity is low, other than having flat curls?
Okay, well, we have a hygrometer right on our head. But for those of you who don't, A lot of times you'll see static electricity. You get in bed, you pull up those covers, and you see all those sparks. I remember growing up and seeing those and never realizing that that didn't have to be. Remember when you had flyaways and your hair was all, staticky? That is a sign of a low relative humidity in your home. Also, you might see that your skin is getting dry and itchy. I cannot tell you how many people I see on Facebook or all over social media going, my skin's so dry, my skin's so dry, and people are like, drink more water, drink more water. Well, yeah, from the inside, but also from the outside. Your skin needs that humidity to stay healthy and nice and soft, and you don't want that winter itch. Humidifiers are a great way to get rid of winter itch. They also, you are more susceptible to infections and colds when you don't have the proper relative humidity in your house. You may also see that you may have some respiratory issues. That's a sign of low humidity. And what else? I know there's another one. Let me check. Oh, I know, damage to your wood. So I have a very thick butcher block engine, and for the first couple of years I had to oil it all the time. It just seemed like it would crack. And here I had such low humidity in my home. I went and got a Selena, and it turned out that my relative humidity in the winter was only 20% in my house, which is far, far, far too low. So you want to make sure that you're keeping it between that 40 and 50% range.
Okay, and then how can using a humidifier that's meant to be used with essential oils help with this process?
Okay, so you can help support healthy breathing by using something, a humidifier such as the Anton. So I don't know if you can see my Anton going here, but it has a really great mist output.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see that mist.
You can use some essential oils that are great for respiratory, maybe peppermint, eucalyptus, think breathe, things like that. What's great about this unit is it was designed to be used with essential oils. Not all units are, so just note this. This is meant to be used when you pull the water tank out, you'll drip the essential oils right into the base of the unit, and then you can put the water tank in. And one of my favorite features of this is that when I do this, I do not need to stop the unit. It's still diffusing as I'm taking the tank out and refreshing my oils, which I think is a great feature. And it also has the slide, so you can have that heavy mist or you can have a very light mist, depending on your needs. Okay, so with proper humidification, it can moisten nasal passages and help with the clear breathing. I use the Anton next to my bed because my husband's a snorer, and with the moistened nasal passages and the Majorum essential oil, that's my combo, my go-to for snoring. He is like a freight train sometimes, and I know that if I could put on my Anton and put that in, we're both gonna get a great night's sleep. So that's just a little helpful tip. It can also alleviate dry, sore throats. So I know this is my big thing when I am dehydrated and I wake up in the morning, my throat is all dry and sore. The humidifier, as I run it throughout the night, helps keep my throat and my nasal passages nice and moist. I know that Hilary's daughter experiences nosebleeds, and tell a little bit about that, Hilary.
Yeah, Olivia has just had nosebleeds since she was young, and I think it's a little bit genetic too because George has been prone to nosebleeds also, and since using the Anton, that has not happened. And we use actually every single night, all year long, regardless of what season it is, we use a roller ball of heliochrysum, and we just roll it down her nose bridge and above her brow area, and it's just her nosebleed blend we've used for years. And we use that, but we also use, we have an Anton that's right by her bedside. and she loves it. I mean, now she wants to sleep with it every night. And she also she doesn't get like fevers or ear infections or anything, but whenever she gets a little bit of a seasonal discomfort, it sort of settles in her throat as like a little bit of a dry cough. And so that is really an incredible opportunity for you to harness your essential oils for respiratory support in with your humidifier. So it's killing two birds with one stone right there. And having it right by the bedside is just a game changer. And she and George also sometimes will get a little bit of dry skin. And so it's just great having that. And I actually was asking Sandy a couple weeks ago, which is one of the other reasons that we wanted to put together this series for you guys, because I was asking her, should we get another Anton for our master bedroom? Because our master bedroom is very large and open, and it has a tray ceiling, 9-foot ceilings, and it's very large. And I felt like having the Anton over on George's side of the bed was wonderful for him for snoring, but I want to also make sure that I'm getting the right humidity by me too. And I just have the Jasmine by the bedside. And she said, absolutely, definitely you can do 2 Antons in a large room. And so we kind of got to talking, and I really just wanted to learn more. And then now that so many of you took advantage of all of these amazing deals for Black Friday and all these other deals that Sandy had brought to us, so many people are enjoying the Antons now, but we want to learn more. We want to know more. So Sandy, thank you so much for this. Now, question, can any humidifier be used with essential oils? Because this is one of the most popular questions that we get.
No, absolutely not. When I first started with essential oils, I knew nothing about, humidifiers or anything like that. And we're talking like 7, 8 years ago. So what happened was I had a humidifier, and I'm like, well, a humidifier is just a diffuser, right? No, wrong. What it is there are these O-rings in most humidifiers, and the essential oils actually will, they will degrade the O-ring, and your humidifier will leak. So I had that problem. My humidifier, my very expensive humidifier, I ruined. It was leaking all over the floor. And then I learned after that they are not made of the proper plastic. So what happens is they leach the chemicals out of the plastic, and it gets emitted into the air. So the answer to your question, no. You need to have a humidifier that was made to be used with essential oils. And Stadler Form makes both. They make ones that are used with essential oils and the ones that are not. The ones that are made to be used with essential oils, you'll find under the aromatherapy tab. So any of our products that are used with essential oils will be found under that tab at the top or on the side, depending if you're on your computer or your phone. So what I wanted to tell you is we have several models that are capable of using essential oils, one of which is the Anton. Anton I love because it gives you the most benefit from those essential oils because you're dripping it right down into the bottom, and it's coming out in the ultrasonic vapor like you're used to seeing in your diffuser. So this one is my favorite model to use with essential oils, but we do have others that are used with essential oils. Right here I have the Oscar, and this is the large version of the Oscar, but you'll see that the Oscar has this cartridge, and you put the essential oils in the cartridge and then just snap it back in, and it will give you a little bit of the benefit of essential oils, but it's not going to be as strong as a diffuser. This is more of a humidifier, and then just a slight bit of the essential oils for the benefit. The Robert here, he can be used with essential oils in the same way. So I'm just gonna take out the water tank and pop out the back is one of those cartridges that you can use with essential oils. So the answer to your question is yes. If they're designed for use with essential oils, then it is okay.
All right, and then are there other benefits to using a humidifier that you can share with us?
Yeah, it reduces the amount of static electricity in your house, which is really helpful when you're doing your hair, or you have that skirt that won't leave your legs, or anything. You won't have that type of problem. These are like the more household problems, or wood. My whole house is done in wood floors. So here's a little tip. when you start to humidify, realize it's going to take you longer if you're behind the 8 ball, okay? So I take my humidifiers out come October. I live in Northeast Ohio. So come October, I take out my humidifiers, even though my Selena is still reading, 35, 38, 40%. I don't want to get behind the 8 ball because I have a lot of wood in my home. So I will start off running it on low, just making sure that I'm not losing any ground with my humidification, because you have to think about it. Your whole home needs to be humidified. So your couch is going to absorb some of that humidification. Your wood is going to absorb some of that humidification. So it's going to take you, if you get behind the 8 ball, it's going to take you longer to get your house humidified and up to the correct levels. So that's just a little tip. I'm sorry. So yeah, those are basically your household reasons for using the humidifier.
And then we tease this a little bit, but how do you know what your humidity level is in your home? So how do we measure it? Walk us through that.
Okay, so you can measure your humidity by using a Selena hygrometer. You'll find this under the accessories tab on the website. And if you can see, my house is at 47% and my temperature is 68 degrees. And that is actually perfect. This is the perfect relative humidity to have in your home. I love this, Selena, because not only do you get the temperature, but you also get your temperature, your relative humidity, and also the time.
Perfect. And then can you have too much humidity?
Yes, you could definitely have too much humidity in your house. So, I'm sorry, Hillary, I cut you off.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was just going to say, because, one question that I might have is that it's pretty dry here in Northern Virginia. And is there a reason, because you mentioned that you bring out your humidifiers in October.
Yes.
Is there a reason that we can't just, what if I said, I really like my Anton instead? I don't want my Anton and Jasmine on one nightstand. Could I just use my Anton in the bedroom because I'm spending a larger span of time there, and move my Jasmine somewhere else in the house and have my Anton there all year long as my diffuser, and then just slide the, the output to lower so it's not, humidifying a ton, even though it is pretty humid here in the summertime. Walk me through that. What would you say? Yeah.
So you don't want to over humidify. So you have some signs if you're having too much humidification. So actually, I think it was one of your people that messaged me because she was noticing some pooling of some water on top of her Anton. And I said to her, just slide the slide back and put it down to more of a diffuser level, okay? So when we cut the mist back, you see it's a very light mist. That way, you're not getting over humidification. So these are signs you have too much humidification. Is if you see any type of water pooling on the top of the unit or even down on the surface area. So, make sure you're using your Selena, because if you're using this and then it's at 47%, you're not going to see that type of problem. Now, mind you, if you have a lot of over humidification, you'll see your windows start to steam up. You ever make a lot of soup and you have everything on the stovetop, and then all of a sudden your windows start to steam? So that's another sign that you may have too much humidification. And in really extreme cases of long periods of extremely high humidity, you will see you can even create mold, like we see in our bathrooms, and especially people who live in Florida and things like that. That's a sign of really high humidity. But if you have your Selena hygrometer, you're going to know what your humidity level is at all times. You're going to know if you need extra humidification or if you need to cut it back. Or you'll actually even know if you need to use a dehumidifier. And at Stellar Form, we make a dehumidifier. And in summer months, that may be needed. If you're running your air conditioning, that's going to help. And, you want to use a fan also. So we carry a long list of different types of fans and all sorts of air quality products. So anything that you need as far as air quality goes, you could just go to the website, and each tab at the top will tell you humidifiers, dehumidifiers, aromatherapy, Selena's found under accessories, that type of thing. So you just want to make sure that you're always consulting this. This is like one of the most important tools to have in your house. So this is great to have. I suggest having one at least on every floor of your home, so that you can keep track of it. And it's just really small and thin, as you can see, and doesn't take up much room.
Yeah, this thing is really awesome. I've been obsessed with it ever since I got it. So Sandy, thank you for recommending this to me, because it's really important, just like with our oils and being a label reading gangster and looking at labels and things and really knowing what we're bringing into the home. It's equally important to really know what's going on in our air, and that gives us insight into maybe another cause of our of our health issues. And so it empowers me having this information. Like now my humidity is 40% because I've got the Anton in my office. And so while we've been talking, the humidity has gone up because I've been sitting here with my Anton. So again, it's when we talk to our oilers and when I talk to my customers, I can really give them this additional layer of support and education, and I can refer them back to this webinar series so that they can learn that, if they're having nosebleeds or dry skin, there's other things other than just using essential oils topically, that we can do to support them in a holistic way. Like what's going on inside the home, what's going on with the air quality. And so this is really, really helpful and really important. So for me, maybe since this is the first season that I'm using these products, when it comes to springtime, so like when do you normally put away your humidification units for the year?
Normally I keep my Anton out because I can slide it all the way back to a diffuser level, so it's not putting a ton of extra water vapor into the air. I normally put away mine. It's so hard. I live in Northeast Ohio. It could be 80 degrees one day and 30 the next. Not joking. It really is a crazy climate I live in. So I'd say for good, I normally put them away sometime in May. But before I put them away, in every time I change the water, I make sure I thoroughly clean my units. And we're going to go over that in a video upcoming that we're going to be making for you. And Hilary?
Yeah, that's perfect. Because I was just thinking to myself, what if I want to use Anton all year? But it makes sense. So I think what I'm going to do, since this is the first season, and actually look, it's already gone up to 42% just while we've been sitting here. So that's awesome. So I think what I'm going to do is just experiment and keep my hygrometer. I'm going to get one for our bedroom, and I'm going to get one for Olivia's room, and then keep this one in my office. And I'm just going to experiment, I think, and I'll report back as the months progress this spring, see, what's going on with the humidity, and see maybe this time of year, I'll move my jasmine somewhere else and just have the Anton by our bed, by my bedside too. But as the seasons shift, maybe the Anton can either go lower to the lower mist, or maybe just move him to another area of the house. But this is so helpful, Sandy. Thank you so much. And we want you to continue watching our video series to learn how to choose a diffuser and to choose a humidifier that is right for your particular needs and for your different spaces. And we'll learn how to properly clean our diffusers and humidifiers in our third video. So we want you to be also empowered that if you have not gotten started on your oil journey yet, if you are watching this, we would love for you to reach out to me. So you can reach out to me for doTERRA essential oils and for any Stadler products that Sandy demoed, and you will be able to get 25% off both. So when you get started with the starter kit of oils in doTERRA, everything that you purchase will be 25% off for the duration in perpetuity. And then Sandy has been so generous to create a permanent coupon code for us, EBO. So when you go to bit.ly, and I'll put this in the comments, /Diffuser Squad, capital D and capital S for Diffuser Squad, you will be able to get all of these incredible promotions. And Sandy has shared with me that every single month Stadler's going to be sharing these promos with us. So every month they're going to be different. So I'm hoping that maybe we can put in a good word and get the Hygrometer on sale sometime soon for our followers. So if there's anything in particular that you would like to see on sale, let us know, and then we'll put in a good word, and maybe Sandy can chat with the powers that be to get that for us. So Sandy, thank you so much again for all of this information. We can't wait to keep the series going, and stay tuned for more.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.